Hey, this is George. This is Real Talk with George and Frazier. Frazier's running a little late. I'm trying to log in right now, so he will definitely be here. We want to thank you all for checking into the show. Today we have a great guest, Mr. Wally Green. Um, he's an athlete and a table tennis player. He has an excellent story. He's actually making connections overseas, but I'll let him explain that to you a little bit later as he comes onto the show. Just waiting for him to log in. If you haven't had the opportunity, check out yesterday's show with Mr. Nigel Beckles. Um, Relationship coach, wrote a book about relationships and domestic violence and a lot of good things. But we definitely had a great conversation with him. And we definitely would like you guys to check that out as well, too, if you have a minute. That being said, we also have another show this Friday. Um, so check us out on Friday as well too on Real Talk. Um, I do have some good news, but I'll wait until Frazier logs on to give everybody the good news, and we'll just keep it going from here. Um, that being said, we can jump into some news. We're still waiting. Let me just check my news first, but we're still waiting for the verdict in the George Floyd case, and the whole country literally is on pins and needles right now to see what that verdict will be. Um, as we see, yes, deliberations still resume. Nation awaits decision in landmark case for policing in America. You know, wow. So there's a lot of different things happening. I was just reading that the UFC is actually in a legal dispute to shut down Jake Paul, which is crazy because that doesn't actually make any sense to me. The UFC has been monumental in mixed martial arts, but we've seen from time and time again, just talking about some of the things that they have and haven't done, is they've shut down their athletes the ability to make money. If you all go all the way back to when Anderson Silva, when he was at his top of his game, wanted to box Roy Jones Jr., that would have been a great co-promotional event that could have happened, but it didn't because the UFC shut it down simply because at that time they didn't co-promote. In other words, they had to make all the money. You know, Conor McGregor pushed his way through and basically told the UFC that they couldn't stop him. So the UFC had to play ball when he fought Mayweather. But we've seen this time and time again where um, the UFC interjects, and if they're not front row or if they're not in a position to make the type of money that they want to make, they try to legally shut it down. And I get it, but professional fighting is a short time, believe it or not. And you have a short time to make a lot of money that's going to last you a lifetime if you're smart with your money. So to deny fighters that ability to do that, I think is just, it doesn't benefit the UFC. The UFC could have done some great promotional events that could have made them hundreds of millions of dollars sooner. Like when they bought Pride. They could have bought Pride and done championship versus champion events in both the UFC and Pride. They chose not to. They chose to dissolve the organization for whatever reasons. You know, um, when they bought Strike Force, they could have done the exact same thing. They chose not to. They chose to dissolve the organization. And it's just, I think, bad business no matter how you're looking at it because you're always going to bring new people into the sport. Jake Paul, whether you like him or don't like him, is basically self made. He has created his own audience through online social media. He has done everything himself to promote himself the way that he would and an online YouTuber would. But he has also revived celebrity boxing. Jake Paul first got his start doing celebrity boxing and boxing YouTubers. but he's also made a decision that this is something that he wants to pursue as a young man, which is boxing. And he has the talent and the dedication to do it. Like I said in yesterday's show, a lot of people's problems when they approach this is they don't approach this as a legitimate boxer. They approach it as something that they do. In Ben Askren's case, Ben Askren does has boxing experience, but he has boxing experience from MMA. He doesn't have strict boxing experience, and that showed. Jake Paul walking into this situation has strict boxing experience. He doesn't know anything about MMA. He doesn't practice any disciplines, and he's focused 110% on boxing, and that's the difference. And so a lot of people walking into these fights, their minds have to change, because to be a strict and disciplined boxer takes discipline, and it takes the understanding of what it takes strictly just to box, not anticipate a kick, not anticipate being taken down, ground and pound, anything of that nature. So it's definitely something to look forward to. We will definitely keep you posted as to what happens with this particular lawsuit. Hey, Frage, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
A whole lot. Nice to have you. And we'll definitely keep you posted as to how it definitely works out. That's my opinion, but I've seen it for the last 10 years. And if they don't change, people will definitely just start to walk away. But here's the thing. They will also start to create their own paths to where they don't have to deal with the UFC when it comes to certain things. Like it's boxing. Look at Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva now is boxing, getting into boxing as well too. Well, Anderson Silva's past his prime, but Anderson Silva does have some legitimate boxing experience. So we'll definitely see. Frage, I was waiting for you to log on, brother.
I know me, my computer going in a wheelchair move. I go wheelchair.
Yeah, man, I know how it is. That's why I didn't
do our thing.
That's why I was grandstanding for a minute. But that being said, I got some good news, man.
What we got?
This Friday, brother, I'm getting my first vaccination shot.
I hear.
Yeah.
So how you feel about it? You feel excited? Is it
man.
The anticipation, like what it gonna be like?
No, not at all, man. I'm pumped. I've been looking for this for like the last 3 to 4 weeks to a month. I've been on 2 waiting lists now for over a month. And I was like hurt because I was like in Florida on the 15th. They said everybody could get a shot if they wanted to. There were no restrictions.
Yeah. I'm just on that one. Tell my reasons why. I see most people say, okay, jump is good. I'm really excited to see me. It got a really bad ratio with me. Saying I know some people I know, I'm not saying everybody else, didn't do too well afterward because they had prior issues before taking the shot. And by there being so many different ones, I can't tell you which one was it.
No, I mean, look, that's what they say. If you have any other symptoms or if you are suffering from anything and you take the shot, there's a good possibility that you may have that. But for me, I'm taking the Moderna. I'm going to CVS, where I always go get my shots and get my everything. So I'm comfortable with that. And I'm just excited, man, to put this behind me. And like I said before, my decision to take this shot is not based on anything other than the fact that I am not going through this, what I went through the first time, with the just everything that I went through. The thing that really got me and that really made me pay attention was the lack of oxygen, the shortness of breath. That's what got me. So with these new variances coming out and everything happening and the possibility that me getting reaffected with these new variances, I just want to make sure that I protect myself foremost and my family. So I'm taking the Moderna shot on Friday. I already got my appointment, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm letting everybody know I will be at CVS getting myself together. So definitely stoked about it, brother.
I tell people, they all mixed emotions. But some people got to do really well. Some people still a little soreness. But see, you're a toughie. We ain't worried about you. You good. You take a little soreness here and there. You good.
No, I mean, it's no different than any other shot. My wife took both. She took Pfizer. My brother-in-law, her brother took Moderna, and I'm taking Moderna. So, I'm not scared of any of it. I just want to get to it. Like I said, if you had gone what I had gone through, you would understand my
Exactly.
urgency.
That's why I say. That's why I was saying that with the things you went through, the tough you went through, the thing you went through. Heck yeah, I will try any necessary to take it. Yes, because it's security too, and it makes sure it don't happen again. But my thing is, anything that's too new to me, I like to wait until it comes out. It's like a PlayStation. You don't buy the first one to come out because all the kinks still got to be worked out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm waiting for the kinks to get worked out because, see, unfortunately, I can't afford a mistake. You know, see, some people, if I was fully healthy, then yeah, I can afford taking a mistake, but I can't afford take that type of risk right now. You see what I'm saying?
No, look, I understand. And everybody else who has medical issues, I definitely understand their position as to why they want to step back. But like I said, for me, the worst thing that could happen to a healthy person is their body starts to shut down and you don't know why. And you're sitting there and you're trying to figure it out. And that's exactly what happened to me. You know, I don't know if I told my story publicly on air, but I had issues walking to the bathroom. I had issues urinating. I had to sit down on the commode to urinate. Okay. Couldn't even stand up. That's how bad it was for me, you know. And
yeah. I mean, you told me because Joe, first time I see just an avatar, that hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So I know it's bad. You never do Avatar unless it's really, really bad. So I knew it was really bad. I knew it was really, really frustrating for you. Because I know when I got sick one time with bronchitis and the flu, I felt like somebody whooped my behind for 13 days straight, just whooped it. I'm talking about just kept on beating me. So I know how you felt. I couldn't walk, couldn't do nothing. At some point, I didn't even want to do anything, you know? Because it was hurt.
What everybody doesn't understand was the reason why I used the avatar was because I was actually laying in the bed doing the show. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't sit up to do the show. And I kept muting the microphone because I didn't want everybody to hear me gasping for air and panting. You know, so when she kept asking me, George, are you there? I'm mute. Yes, I'm here. You know, with my best voice, trying not to give it away that I'm actually sitting here struggling through this interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't want everybody to see me all broken down like that, man. But I tried my best to get through it.
Yeah, but I mean, I can say I sympathize. I don't like sympathize with you because I've been through a certain to maybe similar to that where I couldn't move, couldn't walk, do anything, couldn't eat, couldn't do nothing, and I was bedridden for a while. So I know what that experience felt like, and it's not fun for me, and no, it wasn't fun for you at all. Especially so independent, you can't do it. Your body, your mind said, "Go ahead and do it." Your body said, "Nah, bro. I appreciate the thought and the effort. But I'm gonna lay here and relax while you think about doing some stuff." Okay?
Yeah, but it wasn't even relaxing. Like my wife came in, you know, and she looked at me. She was like, "Why are you always laying down?" And I had to tell her. I said, "Me laying down is the only way I can breathe. I can't breathe sitting up, and I can't breathe standing up." You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
either way, it hurts. The worst part is walking. Because you use the martial arts. So the worst part is not being able to walk, throw a punch, throw a kick without having to go there. Hold up.
No, I couldn't even do that. The worst part was not even being able to walk to the bathroom and use the bathroom.
Well, definitely. My thing is, can you imagine the worst thing of all? Can you imagine walking, you got better walking in the pub like this? Don't get in a fight. Do not need a fight right now.
I wasn't even thinking about that. You know, I would have tried my best.
I stay in Miami. You got to be only told every day.
No, I understand that, but I'd have been in New Jersey screaming, "Help! Help!" I ain't even thinking about that. Yeah. That being said, man, finally with us, Mr. Wally Green. Welcome to Real Talk.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I'm good.
What's on, man?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just doing the rounds.
Yeah, man, I see.
You're a busy man. He's a busy man.
No doubt. Thank you for being on the show. And definitely. Tell the fans and the listeners a little bit about your bio and your background.
So the quick version of it is my name is Wally Green, originally from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in the projects, in Marble Projects, with heavy domestic violence, which at 13 turned me into gangs. So I was in the gang at 13, owned 6 guns at 13, was headed towards the worst life ever. And my life changed through the most unlikely sport, which was ping pong, which took me around the world playing for the U.S. team, every major country in the world, including doing my own diplomacy for world peace in North Korea, which is the most dangerous country in the world for any American to be. So that's my story in under a minute.
Absolutely. Look,
Nice.
we greatly appreciate it. But why North Korea? Was it something that Dennis Rodman did to inspire you? Why?
So the whole North Korea thing came. I mean, yeah, Dennis Rodman was a huge inspiration for doing it, and I wrote this in a 4-page article that was in the New York Daily News, and one of the things I said is when no one wanted to go with me, Dennis Rodman was my inspiration to go, because I was like, well, if Dennis Rodman can go and come back, then I can go and come back too.
Right.
Yeah.
So he definitely was an inspiration for me going, and I feel like I'm the Dennis Rodman of ping pong.
Right.
I do the same crazy hairstyles, kind of, somewhat act crazy as like when I'm playing and stuff. But I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted I really didn't know how I was going to make this difference, but I knew the relationship with USA and North Korea was horrible, and North Koreans, due to propaganda, see us as the devil, as evil, as just horrible people, and so I just wanted to change that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got questions.
You got questions?
I always have questions. Right. So as you're talking, it moves to, how did you get involved in ping pong, that particular journey? And then once you answer that question, I'll follow up.
Yeah.
So the ping pong journey was really kind of strange, because they actually had ping pong in my high school, and I actually hated it. I thought it was the worst sport ever created. I remember being on a football team and basketball team and coming through the lunchroom and seeing these kids playing ping pong, and I would always go, "Oh, look at those kids with shorts and a stick." That's what I used to say. So I was like, shorts and a stick, and so I was never really interested in it. But I started shooting pool during off season of sports, and I thought I was really good at pool. I even stole a pool stick, like a really expensive one, right? And because I had this pool stick, I thought that I was good. I had a professional pool stick, then I must be professional. Until someone hustled me for some money, and I got really pissed off. And this pool hall that I was in happened to have 2 ping pong tables. So when I got angry that I lost the money that I didn't really have, I shattered the pool stick on the table and it broke. So I was even more pissed off.
But you lost your professional pool stick.
Yeah. Exactly.
The power.
And then I saw these kids playing, and I was like, yo, you know what? I want to hit the ball. But I don't think I was trying to hit the ball in terms of wanting to play. I think it was just me being a bully.
Right.
And just being angry and wanting to take my anger out on some poor kids who was playing ping pong, a sport they didn't like. Right. So I went over there and I was like, yo, can I get a hit? And I wasn't even really asking, I was demanding. and the kid was like, yeah, okay. And so I took the paddle, and out of anger, he hit the ball at me, and I hit it, and it went right on the table. And it was like, oh my God, do you play? And I was like, nah, I don't play. And they were like, yo, there's a ping pong club. You should go check. I said, what? There's a what? A ping pong? Hold on. I was like, there's a club for this? Are you serious? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, people, they play, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, all right, you know what? Okay. So, I wanted to check it out because I was an athlete and I played all sports. Yeah. And I just couldn't believe there was a club for ping pong. Like,
That's true.
It didn't register. And growing up, I never really knew about boys and girls clubs. So I never really knew about that whole boys and girls club scene because they have ping pong in all of them. Right. I didn't know. So I never been to a boys and girls club. So I didn't even know there was a club that. So I wind up going and checking it out, and it was a half pool hall, half ping pong club. And people were playing, like really playing. Like they were like, boom, hitting back, boom. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy, man. Like people actually do this. What is this? So I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, this is nuts. Right. So now I want to play because I'm an athlete and I need to play everything. So I would tell people, hey, yo, can I get a hit? And they would look at me like I was dumb. Right. They were like, I'm tired. And then they would say that they were tired, but then they would play with someone else.
Yeah. Right.
Man, like what? And I'd be so angry because, back then I was a really angry kid. So the first thing I would think about is I would like, what? these people won't play with me. I'll shoot up this whole place. Like,
Right.
I was taking it personally. Like, this is, and then, but then, I was always the kind of person that I wanted to be where where people didn't want me to be.
Right.
So if they want me to be there, I'm going to be there. So I would just go and sit there. And then finally, this older guy would play with me. He'd kick my ass. And I'd be like, well, how can this old guy beat me? I'm a seasoned athlete. And I got more interest. And then one day, a guy came by, and he goes, hey, do you have a partner? And I was like, no. He was like, well, I'm looking for a steady partner, and I'll pay you $20 every time you play with me. And I was like, what?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, $20? So for me, the $20 was a hustle. I was like, all right, yeah. I mean, I suck, but I can hit. I'm an athlete. I can play anything. So I can hit the ball back and forth. So, I would play with this guy, and then we play maybe 2-3 times a week, and he paid me $20. And we became a little closer, and I would always talk about the gang that I was in, because those are that was my real family. Like right. For me, those are the people that protected me. I protected them, so I always spoke about them. And for him, it was more like a TV show, right? So if you never met anyone who lived that lifestyle, it's a TV show for you, right? It's what you see on TV. You can't fathom the idea of a 13-year-old having guns.
Right.
Exactly.
That's normal.
Right.
Like, it's not. If somebody told me, yeah, a 13-year-old had 5 guns, I'd be like, oh, okay. It's not something I'd be like, really? Wow. No.
Exactly.
It's something that happens all the time. Right.
Right.
So we talked a lot, and then one day I went by the club, and a 22 fell out of my bag, and he saw it, and he looked at me, and he gave me this look, and my first thing was like, all right, I'm out. I was like, yo, I gotta go. Picked it up and just bounced, because I don't know what he's gonna do. He might call the police. I have no idea what's in his mind at that time. And, me being, black young kid, and he's a white dude. I don't know what kind of feelings he would have thought or something. So I just got out. And the first thing I kept thinking about was like, damn, man, that's my $20 hustle's gone. I was like,
exactly.
And then 2 days later, he called me up and he goes, hey, are we still playing? I was like, what? And I was like, all right. And it's $20. I was just thinking the hustle. I didn't care. I was thinking hustle. So I went down and we played. And then he says, hey, I want to invite you to my house. I'm like, what? Why? And so now I'm trying to think, why would this guy want to invite me to his house? Like, he just saw, like, he finally see the real person I am. It wasn't making sense. And so I was like, all right, whatever, because my goal was that $20.
Right.
So if I had to go to his house and meet his family, whatever, as long as I'm getting my $20, I was going to do it. Right. So he lived near Hunter Mountain. So that's like 2.5 hours away from New York City. It's in the mountains. It's like in the woods. And so I went there and I met his family, and they were really nice. And I played with them. And I think he was trying to give me maybe a sense of what family is, I guess. Right. I still don't know why he brought me to his house to meet his family 2.5 hours away from New York. But yeah, he did that. And then eventually he goes to me and says, hey, I really want to help you. I see that you're interested in the sport. I want to pay for you to go to Germany to learn ping pong. And I was like, what?
Wow.
For me, the only thing I knew about Germany at that time was Hitler.
Right.
Exactly.
What the hell's going on? This dude's trying to send me to Germany. What? It makes sense. It didn't make sense. But I was always a person that took opportunity.
Right.
Exactly.
Kind of person I was. So if he was given the opportunity, I was taking it. I don't think I ever thought twice about taking the opportunity. I just thought about why he was giving this opportunity.
Right. Exactly.
So that's how I started. I went to Germany and I stayed in Germany for 4 months, and that's how I got into ping pong.
Nice. That's a hell of a trip. Germany, that's a hell of a place to go to. I heard so many things about Germany that's not what you hear in the books, what you don't see on TV, where you see all that stuff they do back in the day, Hitler, all that stuff there. There's so much stuff behind that you don't know about. You see people are very nice. People are very humbled. I mean, especially in the countryside, they're believably generous and nice. You're like, hey, come in, have dinner. What the heck?
Yeah. So being that you mentioned that, so that was how the change in my life took place, because there's a saying that people have. It's called "killing you with kindness."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Killing you with kindness is a real thing. It's if anyone's experience, and it's mentally confusing. So when I first went to Germany, I went because I got the opportunity, but it didn't change me from being that angry kid I was. I was still an angry kid, and I didn't like anyone. I was just taking an opportunity to get the hell out, right? And so when I was there, everybody was like, "Oh, yo, you're from America? Oh man, you're from New York? Oh, I love New York. Oh, I love America. Whoa, you're so cool," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Get the hell away from me! This is crazy."
Back up.
Yeah, but it was a lot, and it was so much to process. He was just coming, and then what happens is you want to be angry, but they're not giving you the fuel for that fire.
Exactly.
Right.
They're not fueling it at all, and so now you're just like you don't know what to do. So for like a whole month, I was just like super confused, and I was like, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was like, this is crazy. And then eventually, after a month, something just like hit me in the back of the head and say, yo, why are you angry? You're not in the environment that you were. You're not even in America. You're not in the project. You're not with your parents. You're in a totally different place, and people genuinely want to be your friend. So why are you angry? What? And then once I figured that out, then I started to slowly become more friendly. And then that was the start of the change of my whole mindset. That's where it started at that point. 1 month being in Germany.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit more about that German experience, because it sounds like that was the catalyst to put you on this path to where you're going. And, it's a deep story that a 13-year-old has a wherewithal to say, okay, listen, I'm on the wrong path. There's something that's counteracting my anger. Yep. There's something that's nourishing my spirit to take me to this. My son is 13 and he hasn't even figured that whole part of it out yet, but you managed to figure it out at 13, and the trajectory of your life went to the moon. So were they speaking a lot of English to you? Were you learning a little bit of German? What was the entire process? Because a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of European countries that are a lot more friendly to Black people and people of color than what we receive here in the United States. You know what I mean? Like Germany's one, France is one. That's why a lot of Black people after the war, they didn't come home, they stayed. You know what I mean? That being said, what was that transition like, and what did you learn from that German experience, 3 months into it? Because you were there for 4, you had a transition at 1, and then you had 3 months to go.
Yeah, so I was every Black rapper, every Black there was a famous Black rapper, that was me. They did 50 Cent. I don't look like 50 Cent, but okay, yeah, okay. So that's kind of how it started. Like they always associated being Black with hip hop, and they would always call me a rapper. Oh, 50 Cent, or they would say rap for us or something like this, and they would teach me some Japanese. I mean, I'm saying Japanese. They would teach me some German words. Like always. So as a kid, when you go to different countries, you always learn the bad words first.
Exactly.
And then they would tell me words to go say to girls, because it's in this school it's boys and girls. It's all the athletes. So they would say, hey, go say this. It means this. Meanwhile, it didn't mean
none of that.
None of that. And I would go and it was really cool, because it was a very cool culture exchange, and they kind of understood my culture without me having to show them where I came from and what it was really about. And I thought that was really cool, because before I traveled to Germany, I thought hip hop only existed in America.
Right.
Really.
True.
I thought everything we did, everything that we created, only existed in America. Right. And then when I was with these kids and they knew hip hop songs, what? They knew the words that I didn't even know the words to. Like they were speaking full lyrics. And I was like, whoa, I don't even know the words to this song. And I'm Black.
Right.
Yeah. So the bond started becoming a lot closer, and then with the sport, because all the kids were better than me anyway, and but they never but they never like looked down on me and said, "Oh, you suck.
Right.
You suck. We don't want to hang out with you because you're not as good as us."
Right.
They didn't care about that. They just cared that I was like this cool dude, and even I sucked, they were always trying to help me. Like, no, you gotta do it like this, you gotta do it like this. So, yeah, they were just really friendly to me, and that just just made me think totally different way.
Exactly.
So let me ask you, since that experience, you knew that you had to come back 4 months later. Were you scared about what you were walking into, or had your mind transitioned enough to the point that I can go back to New York, but I don't have to be what I was in New York?
So that's one of the hardest things that I have to deal with every day. Um, so I always say, like, a lot of people ask me, they always say, what is the hardest thing that you had to deal with after leaving that gang life and then going back?
Mm-hmm.
And I always say the hardest thing is I had to make a decision. And I had to make a decision before I left Germany.
Yep.
If this was going to work, then I would have to eliminate myself completely from that environment. And that was the only way it was going to work. And I knew that already because I already experienced what it is to be in another country. I already experienced what a different life was. And I knew what my life was before I went there. And so I already knew that I had to eliminate myself from the environment. And I did. I chose to not go back at all and not be a part of that, which till today it's something that I have to live with the rest of my life, and it bothers me all the time because there's a lot of people whose lives got messed up because of me, because I'm the one that told them, "Yo, you should be down with this, man. Yo, you should do that. Yo, go and take care of that." So I'm responsible for some people's lives being the way it is, and to just bounce and just ghost everyone, which is something I have to live with, and I deal with it every day. But I think for for my mental health and for myself, that if I didn't do it that way, I would have went right back into what I was doing.
Yep.
And I'd probably be dead or in jail for life right now.
No, I understand that. But the thing is, somebody introduced you to the gang, right? Yep. You introduce somebody to the gang. That's the cycle.
Yes.
But those people that you introduced also saw what you were doing and what you were becoming. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So why didn't they say, wait, my man could do all this and do all that. Why can't I? You see what I mean? Because you were doing it by example, not just saying, oh, yo, I'm doing this, that, or a third.
Exactly.
Right.
You see what I mean? So at some point in time, why didn't they reach and say, yo, this gang stuff is not for me anymore, man?
I think the biggest problem, especially like growing up in that life, is the opportunity. I think there's not enough opportunity for young kids growing up in that kind of lifestyle. Like for example, I only knew what was in my projects. I only knew what was in Brooklyn.
Right.
I didn't know what was in New Jersey or Staten Island. I only knew what I saw. And if this guy never came along to give me this opportunity, then I'd probably be dead or in jail for sure. It's not probably 100%, right? So I was lucky to get an opportunity. Of course, I had to take the initiative to actually jump on the opportunity, because sometimes people get the opportunity. It's like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I mean, I had to take initiative to actually jump on the opportunity, but nonetheless, a lot of kids don't get that opportunity. They don't get to see outside, or they don't get to get the knowledge that there's so many different ways to get to where you want to be at. It's not just, yo, I'm going to be a rapper and that's it, or I'm going to be a basketball player and that's it. And when that doesn't happen, then,
crashes.
Yeah. So I just think that kids in that situation, that they need to have more opportunity, or even knowledge of opportunity. Like there's like growing up as a kid, I didn't know nothing about countries. What? Come on. Like I tell you, I only thought we rapped in America and that's it.
Yep. Exactly.
When I was in Germany and I saw my first freestyle session, I almost had a heart attack. I was like, what was that? I was like, whoa, what? No way. I was like, wait, are you guys rapping?
Right.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, you guys rapping German? Like, yeah, we've been rapping for years. What? No way. So yeah. Like I said, those kids, they just need to have the opportunity or knowledge of opportunities. I think is really important.
That's true.
Well, let me go ahead, Fraser.
I was saying, let's go touch on that. I work at where I'm going. I also work at I call preteens. When I tell George about it all the time, I did boot camps and stuff. But our boot camp was not after you did a crime or did what. It before you do the crime. It before you did anything to put you in jeopardy of put yourself in criminal trouble. Like you said, opportunity. We get other opportunity, but we did it through military tactics, military techniques, and military discipline. And at the same time of that, by me being a coach and stuff, whatever, I learned that everybody is different. Yeah. Everybody see things differently. And like you were saying, every little kid, one kid may have opportunity to see opportunity, one kid may not. And some kid may have the ability to accept opportunity. Some kids don't want opportunity. You know why? Because their environment did not allow them to accept opportunity. It tells you, like when I grew up in a part where it says you'll never go up past 12 years old. You'll be dying of gangbang. Yeah. You will make it past that. You be either shot, killed, or murdered. Or the option. Either join a gang, sell drugs, or you die. Mm-hmm. Or you play football, or you play basketball. So a lot of people see basketball and football way out of here. Everything is different. And to say that is, I like how you actually give back and come back through your opportunity and teach other kids how to seek opportunity. That's what I like about you. That's why I really think those days you started and everything with the spend all to help young kids after school give opportunity. And that's one thing I like about you doing that. So
Fred, real quick, I want to transition to that, but I want to get back to the gang question first. You see, you jumped ahead of me, so let me just finish this little segment off real quick. Wally, they say when you get into a gang, the only way you can get out is through blood or death. How did you get out successfully? And then I want to transition to Spin New York. How did you start that organization?
I think in my case, I just ghosted. I literally just got up, left, and never went back. And people who found me later, they were just shocked at what I was doing. I have one friend in particular, and he's like my biggest fan. All right, so I used to think I had no friends. I actually thought all my friends were dead or in jail because most of them are. Right. But I do have one. I do have one. I'm not gonna say his name, but I do have one. And he found me through social media, and he's like my biggest fan. And
nice.
The things that I've done are way bigger than the gang. Like, created history, man. Like, I mean, there's no way you can be angry at that. Right. It's impossible. It's impossible. Like, okay, if I wasn't doing anything, I was in the streets, then I can see how someone could be angry. But I mean, I've done a lot of stuff, man. So, he definitely understands. I mean,
I think you lead by example. You led by example. You showed him that is another opportunity, and you excelled in it. You're doing different things that he might want to think about doing later on. Just don't have the power right now to do it. But he used it through you. That's why he's your biggest fan, because you know why? He wants to be similar to that. He wants the success, but he don't know.
Or just the opportunity. Just the opportunity to look over and see something completely different.
Exactly.
That being said, how did Spin New York come about?
So, oh man. So, I'll tell you the very beginning of it because it's actually funny. So, I brought something into this sport that this sport has never had. I brought that kind of gangster mentality to the sport that was kind of just like how tennis was many, many years ago. Mm-hmm. Supposed to be a gentleman's sport. You're not supposed to make a lot of noise. You're not supposed to. I mean, I brought the hardness.
Brought New York to the sport.
Like, for real, like with all the top players in the world, they know me for having the biggest mouth.
Right.
I'm on the court. I'm like, that's it, baby. I'm pumped up. And they've never seen that. And that's how the initial, well, of course, it was the match against China that I almost won, but that I should have had no chance to win. But I mentally defeated my opponent by just getting in his head. And I just brought this hard mentality to to the sport. So I've always been like that. That's still in me. It's never going to go anywhere. Like they said, you can take the guy out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person. Right?
Exactly.
So it's always going to be there. So I was at a tournament, and there were these 3 guys that were filmmakers, and they were ping pong enthusiasts. So they weren't really good, but they liked it. They liked to play.
Yeah.
So I was playing a tournament against someone, and the particular person's coach was trying to get into my head, which you're not allowed to do. You're not supposed to disturb my match, right?
Exactly.
So I was getting really pissed off, and I told him very loudly, I says, listen, if you don't shut the F up, I'm going to punch you in the face for 10 minutes. And the 3 guys, they heard it, and they started laughing. They thought it was the funniest thing they ever heard at a ping pong match.
Right.
And then they came up to me, and it was like, hey, man, yo, we love your style. Yo, we have a ping pong table in our apartment. Do you want to come and hang out with us? And I was like, well, you got ping pong in your apartment? It was like, yeah, we got a loft apartment. I was like, all right, cool. So I wind up going to hang out with these guys and teaching them ping pong on this table. And then I wind up like kind of living there. Like I was there all the time.
Right.
My house. And we play with them. And then we started to do these parties. So we would invite people to come over and play ping pong. Mm-hmm. And it became like, you tell your friend, come over, bring some beers, let's hang out and let's just have some drinks, hang out and play ping pong. So it started off as like just a few people. Then it got bigger. Then we had like a ton of people, like 20 people in an apartment, right? Then we went from that to making. I think we got extra tables first. Like Puma donated some tables to us. So at one point we had 4 tables in an apartment. 4
nice. Wow.
Right?
A big apartment.
Yeah, it was a very long, large apartment, right? So I think it was actually 3. It's either 3 or 4. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, so it got really big. Then my partners came up with a website, we called it Naked Ping Pong, mm-hmm. Right? So Naked Ping Pong was, as you can see my hat, you see?
Right.
Oh, yeah. That drew a lot of attention.
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody wanted to know what's going on in this apartment.
Exactly. Right.
And so the website was getting crazy hits. We made a reservation system because we had to keep it in control, right? Because it was starting to get crazy. So it's okay. You know what we'll do? We will have this tournament, and it'll be a party, and people can show up and they can reserve. Then we started getting sponsors. So like Red Bull sponsored us, vodka companies, beer companies. They were like, well, we don't want to give you any money, but we'll give you free product. Whoa, free product. Oh, yeah. Free beer, free alcohol. Red Bull gives us. Like we even had the little Red Bull fridge. Right. And so we said, okay, how can you make money from this? Right. You can't sell alcohol in your apartment. It is illegal. Yeah. You'll be kicked out. But what you can do, right? And this is for all you entrepreneurs out there who are trying to make stuff happen. There's always a way to get around stuff. So what we did was, being that we can't sell alcohol in an apartment, you can give it away free. But what we did was we said, okay, we're going to have this tournament. It costs $20 to enter for the tournament. You get a prize, but you get unlimited drinks all night long. Who's not going to pay $20 to drink all night long?
Right.
It was a no-brainer. So our parties got really big. They got huge to where we had lines going around the apartment.
Oh, wow.
Eventually, it was crazy, man.
Y'all had to get kicked out.
You were kicking out.
Everybody was there. The guys from High Times used to come all the time. Like all people would come. It was just crazy parties. And Dame Dash?
Yeah.
Dame Dash used to come by. Dame Dash's son was our DJ.
Okay.
Whoa.
Because we had a DJ at one point, and Dame Dash's son was our DJ. So he used to DJ for us. And it was a popping party. And eventually, so the party got really big to where we started doing bigger events. So like we hosted a Super Bowl party when it was in Arizona.
Nice.
So with 50 Cent and Vitamin Energy. When he had a stake in Vitamin Energy, we had a big party there. We did halftime NBA shows. Our party was now a party with that people say, "Hey, we have this big event. Can you do your naked ping pong party?"
Right.
And that's what it became, this huge entity. And then during the process, we met Susan Sarandon. So Susan Sarandon's assistant is one of my partner's friends.
Right.
And she needed a video edited for Tim Robbins, a birthday video. And so she was like, well, I know some guys in the loft department who has a party, and they can edit your video really quickly.
Yeah.
Right? Because these guys were documentary filmmakers. And so I remember the first day I saw Susan, I was just coming into the apartment, and I saw this lady sitting down talking to Jonathan, the other partner, and I was like, you look really familiar.
Familiar.
That's exactly what I said, man. She must look at me. She looked at me like I was dumb. Susan's really sweet and nice, but in her mind, she was like, "This fool don't know who I am."
Right.
For sure. And it was Susan Sarandon was sitting down. You're like, "Oh, stop!" And then, eventually, all good things come to an end. They needed to sell the building, and we had to get out. And then we were like, well, we need to take this to the next level. Partners came up with a business plan, handed it to Susan. Susan loved the idea. And then Susan helped us create the first spin in New York City. And that's how it first started.
Nice. That's a good
Nice.
story. That's a hell of a story. That's a hell of a story. That's passed off.
Crazy.
You learn from it. And you learn from it.
Yeah.
No doubt. So you create this organization. The organization is taking off and getting wheels and everything. What are some of the biggest things that you guys have done with this organization, and how do you guys pay it forward or give it back?
We took a sport that's extremely serious. Like ping pong is a very serious sport. Like if you ever go to for example, if you take your date to a normal ping pong club, that will be the last date you go on. It's a wrap. It's very serious. Like everyone who's playing, it doesn't matter the level, are very serious and very focused, because it takes a lot of focus to play. So everyone's very serious. Don't come in my area. Don't come near me. Everybody's very so. At times it can be an unfriendly atmosphere for people who don't know how to play, right? So we wanted to take the sport and make it fun for everyone. Make it fun for the person who plays. Make it fun for the person who never plays. Make it fun for the person who hates the sport and think it's a girly sport, right? And how do you do that? You add the bar, you add the music, you add the DJs, you add the events and stuff like that. And that's what we did. We made a serious sport into a party.
Right.
And that's why it's been successful.
Nice.
And
Hold on. I would say right on that. Is that what got you to take that same spirit to North Korea? Because I'm sure they I'm sure they enjoyed that atmosphere change from the serious ping pong to that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
I got you. Give it back. I see you play. I see you. You like did it. You be slamming the ball. I thought one play you did, but the guy was on the other side like.
Yeah.
So that one how the way you use that mentality to get into North Korea and change that mindset of how Americans are.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, like for me, I feel like I can get along with anybody. Mm-hmm. That's my 100% feeling. If you sat the KKK in front of me, I can conversate. If you sat the Taliban in front of me, I can conversate.
Yeah.
I don't have to like you to conversate, right? But I can conversate. And at the end of this conversation, I guarantee you're going to say, you know what? I kind of like this dude. Yeah. Right? So one of the things I mentioned in our film about North Korea, I said that, I'm going to North Korea, and I'm going to say that I play the same sport you play, and I'm a cool ass MF.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel. I can get along with anyone. It doesn't matter. Do I like everyone? Of course not. But can I get along with anyone? Yes. I can adapt. I can understand. I can understand. Like if I'm able to see things from both sides of the fence. I've always been like that. I can see, well, not always, I can't say that. When I was in the gang, I was, but after traveling the world, like when you travel the world, you've been to every major country in the world and you've experienced all cultures, then you can see things on both sides of the fence. So I can understand both sides of the fence. So like I said, if I sat down with the Taliban and we had a conversation, I can understand his point of view.
Right.
Yeah.
I can say, okay, I understand this is what you're thinking. I get it. I understand. So that's the kind of person that I am.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, let me follow up with that North Korea question. What was your North Korean has the ability to always bring out the pomp and circumstance when foreigners come to the country. And they always have a great ability to shield what's really happening in the country from starvation to everything of that nature. Did you get a sense that that's what they were doing, shielding some of the real country problems with you and just there for the event?
It's a really difficult to like you can tell. I mean, it's mostly through feeling. Like you can feel when you're there that something is a little off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just the atmosphere and the feeling. But they're really smart in keeping you away from any of that kind of stuff. So you as a foreigner or Westerner will never get to talk or see unless you go on a tour with a normal North Korean. I'm talking about just a normal citizen. Yeah. You won't be around them. You won't be near them, and you definitely won't talk to them. Like right. I met in the hotel I was staying. It was surprisingly there was a girl from Canada, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Right. And magically, in a huge hotel, they put me right across from her room. Uh-huh. There's hundreds of rooms in this place, but they do it on because they want to listen to what we're going to talk about.
Gotcha.
So I told her, I said, "What are you doing?" And she said she teach English there. And she said, "Be very careful what you say at all times." I said, "Yeah, I know."
Gotcha.
And I asked, I says, "So when you go teach these kids, do you get to talk to them?" And she was like, "Oh, no way." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, when you're giving the lesson, someone's there. As soon as the lesson's finished, boom, they take you. So you don't get, like in every other normal school in the world, after class, some kids
intermingle, right?
You say, "Hey, you need to do better on your English. Is you having problem?" No, it's immediately removed from the class because they don't want the kids to get any kind of ideas outside of what they're learning, and that's English, and that's it. Right. Yeah. So it's very, very interesting. But like I said, you won't get the chance to conversate. I mean, anyone you'll conversate with are people who are at the highest level. So like my guide, I talk to my guide a lot, but my guide is trained to deal with me. Right. My job has one job only. Well, two jobs. Get information from this dude and make sure he's not doing any dumb shit. Right. Exactly. And that's it. And she's trained for that and will not veer off that. Although I did try to set up some questions because I wanted to really know how brainwashed people were.
Yeah.
I could have gotten myself in a lot of trouble, but yeah. But yeah, so pretty much with that.
Interesting.
What was your impression after you left? Is it something that you would go back again and do, or was once enough for you?
So the whole point of going to North Korea, like I said, was to make a difference. Like I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to do something big. I wanted to just change what people think. I'm really I don't know. I mean, sometimes people say that I don't need to do too much. Sometimes just leave it alone. But sometimes I can't leave it alone. Like I'll give you an example. I started a TikTok page, right? It's been like a month and a half. And one of my videos went viral, right? So it's got over 800,000 views. And it's a video that I posted about Asian hate. And there's over 7,000 comments. And I had to answer every comment because I realized that in this day and age that people are really ignorant. Like, listen, I really didn't understand the level of ignorance until I made this post. Right. And I was reading stuff and I was like, what? And so I had to check. And one thing about me, it's there's ignorance and racism, and people get it confused.
Yeah.
Racism is not ignorance. Ignorance is not racism. But if ignorance is not checked, it becomes racism. So ignorance needs to be checked. And so I'm on this app on this TikTok, and I'm checking everybody. It doesn't matter from both sides. From from my black brothers and sisters side, then from the Asian side. It's both ignorance sides coming, and I got to go in there every post and say, listen, what you're saying makes no sense. You really need to think about what you're saying. And I check people, and I check them hard. And then I always end and it's really funny because I don't get a lot of people like after I check them, like trying to talk trash. It's very rare because after I check them hard, and I check people hard, I go in and I might say something like this. Yo, what you're saying is completely idiotic and totally ignorant. And sometimes I'll say, you need to use your brain. I'll go hard.
Yeah.
But always at the end of my checking, I say, and I appreciate you. And by using appreciate you, it brings down their temperature, brings it down. And so people don't get crazy with me. But so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a difference. I didn't know how I was going to make this difference, by the way. So this is the crazy part. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had no plan, zero plan. The first plan was actually just getting to North Korea.
Exactly.
That would be the first plan. And so I got to play 2 matches for preliminary round. First was against China, and the second was against North Korea, which was really lucky because I could have drawn Vietnam, I could have drawn Syria, I could have drawn another Chinese, I could have drawn so many other countries. I mean, I was the only Westerner in this tournament, by the way. There was no Western country. But like I said, it could be someone else. And then my whole trip would have been maybe for nothing. So I got to play I got to play a North Korean. And the way the match starts, you have the umpire, the player who's going to play, another umpire, and the other player is going to play, and you come out to the table. And as you're coming out to the table, there's like maybe 5,000 fans watching. All these fans are what? North Koreans, because there are no other people in North Korea except North Koreans. So all these people in North Korea, they're all in the audience, and I'm walking out. And as I'm walking out to play this match, you can literally feel the eyes on your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like you picture 5,000 people just looking at you, right? Because first of all, I'm like some type of alien to them.
Right.
And those who did not see Dennis Rodman, then I'm definitely alien to them. Sure, they're probably saying, "Whoa, what is
this?" People,
I got bleached hair with designs in it. Like, they've never seen that. You in North Korea, you're allowed 3 cuts, and that's it. There's 3 types of haircuts you can have, and that's it. And here comes this black dude with bleached hair and designs walking out, and you just feel everyone looking at you. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I walk out, we go to the table, but once the game starts, I'm ready. I forgot everything. So I start playing the match, and it's 1-0 for me. And when I made the point, there was a sound. Like, whoa, what? Weird. Like a sound of disapproval.
Yeah.
Next point. Third point. Fourth point. Fifth point. Whoa. And the was getting louder. And I was like, yo, and it's so weird because, I should be the underdog. I'm always the underdog.
Exactly.
I'm the underdog of this sport. But it was being treated like he was the underdog. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Then he made 1 point. So then it became 5-1. And it was like, hey. He made another point. Hey. But it was crazy. If you go to some tournaments, you see some people clap, some people don't. Every single person. Then it got louder. Then it got louder to the point where I was like, yo, I can't concentrate. This is crazy. So I had to take a step back for a second. And then what I did was I looked up and I just smiled. That's it. I just smiled. And when I smiled, it caused a chain reaction. People saw me, and then they started smiling. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So played again. I looked up and I smiled. And then they smiled again and they started laughing, everyone. So I said, bam, I said, this is it. And like I said, I'm a person that always jumps on opportunity. And I said, this is it. I said, this is where I'm going to make this change. It's going to happen right here. This is it. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to focus on this match. I'm going to focus on the crowd. I'm going to focus on these 5,000 people that I have right here watching me. So I would play and I would smile and they would all smile together. Everyone would smile. And I said, all right, this is cool. So then we play the match and spend my time interacting with these fans, right? Because that interaction is not planned. It's not fake. They didn't know I was going to smile, right? But because I smiled and he saw I was happy, then they decided, okay, yeah, let's smile. Let's laugh too. So I was like, all right, cool. So then at the end of the match, I lost to the North Korean, of course. And you have to shake hands, right? And like I said, North Koreans believe we're the devil, we're evil, they don't want to be near us, touch us, look at us, whatever. So now he has to shake my hand. You have to come touch my hand, right? So he comes to me, and my camera is filming my back, which is his front, and he comes. He tries to give me this limp hand, like you see that limp handshake.
Yeah.
When they kind of don't want to shake your hand, they're like this. Yeah. Man, listen. He gave me that hand. I grabbed his arm and pulled him in and gave him a fucking big hug like this. Big hug. Yo, and the funny thing about it is, like, my camera is facing him, so his face is first like, but then he smiled, right? So that smile, that's the reason I went all the way to North Korea, was that smile. That was genuine. You can't fake that. He probably could have been killed for smiling because an American hugged him, but nonetheless, that was a genuine smile. Right. So with that in mind, you can't change people overnight. No one's going to change overnight. But what you can do is you can plant that seed. That's the seed I planted, right? So for the rest of this guy's life, until he dies, he's never going to forget the day that this black dude from New York City, America, came and showed him nothing but love and gave him the biggest hug that he's ever had. Those 5,000 fans are also never going to forget in their life that this black guy, blonde hair, looking all crazy, gave them nothing but love. So although they may not change, but that seed is in the head. So maybe next time when that propaganda comes around, Americans this, Americans that, they'll say, well, you know what? I don't know, man. That crazy black guy that came here, he was really nice, you know. So
exactly.
So a mission was accomplished with no plan, but the mission was accomplished. And when I came back and when I left there, I was, extremely happy that things worked the way it did. Because like I said, if I didn't get to play a North Korean, then I would have went back pretty much.
Exactly.
So things worked out the way it did. And so it was definitely a mission accomplished. And I'm very happy with that.
Well, I want to thank you for those tips that you just added, and those suggestions and what you've been doing, your transformation. It's definitely inspirational to everybody watching the show. We've run out of time. Can you let everybody know where they can find you on social media?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram. I'm now really using my Instagram a lot. So it's Wally Green NYC at Instagram, Wally Green NYC. You can hit me up on Instagram, DM me if you have any questions about what I just spoke about. I answer everyone's DM. So yeah, definitely.
And how about your website for Spin New York?
Yep.
Our website is We Are Spin. So wearespin.com. You can find my club there. It's pretty cool, fun place. If you're in New York City, come down. Let's have a drink together. Play some ping pong. I'll play with my cell phone. We can get it on.
George, he played with an iPhone. George, he played with an iPhone. He was iPhone 6, right? iPhone 6.
Yeah, iPhone 6S.
He says it's wider. George, he beat a man to iPhone. iPhone, George.
Definitely all good. Listen, Wally, I want to thank you for taking the time out to come on the show and talk to us. We definitely appreciate you, brother.
And welcome to the family, brother. Welcome to our family.
Definitely appreciate you.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I told y'all we got a banger.
Well,
y'all sat there and y'all was listening to me grandstand and thought, oh, George is setting a 30. Now look, we got Wally Green that came on and knocked it out of the park. Did y'all hear those tips? This brother went to North Korea, y'all, to make a difference, and he made it. and we want to definitely thank him.
Enjoy. We're playing ping pong. He's my partner.
That's good. That's good. I don't play ping pong. I want to just sit there and watch.
Let me get beat, huh?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'll be your emotional support. Hey, Grace. Hey, you know me, man. Please, I got kids. I ain't gonna let them beat up on me like that.
All right. Well, let me get beat up. Put me to 5. Huh? Okay, I see.
Yeah, man, look, that's love, Fraser. I got nothing but love, man. No doubt. That being said, yo, listen, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we want to thank Wally for coming on the show, man. Check out We Are Spin and check out the things that he's doing, man. Great story.
Definitely got documentary too, so check the documentary out too. It's all there on Amazon and stuff. Make sure you support him on Instagram, everything. He's a very brilliant brother doing much wonderful things in the community. So much love to him, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Fraser.
That was Real Talk with George and Fraser. Peace.
Peace.